next album is essentially the first album. It's the beginning. I think when a group comes and puts their first record out, it's basically an establishing shot, or setting the scene and putting a face and a name on whatever it is they are, or whatever kind of things they stand for, whatever kind of messages they convey. And then you begin speaking, on the second album. So the first record essentially is just an introduction. I think Memoirs did exactly that. Set the scene almost so perfectly, and described what we were doing so exactly that it almost seemed fake or unbelievable, which a lot of people thought it was. We were talking about the struggle and coming out of Flint and adversity, and we were talking about incarceration and death, and we were talking about violence and things like that. And when we went on our first tour, we were half of us on the run. We were wanted, and when we came home from the tour, half of us were arrested. If you look at the promo photo that we have now, half of those people aren't even around. And then we went to download. Me and Gene were arrested again, and it was kind of embodied exactly what we were saying on the first album. Exactly the life that we grew up living, and the life that surrounded us, and the people we knew. So I called a friend when I was in jail, and he was talking about how the internet was going crazy about us going to jail and getting arrested, and they were kind of had the attitude of "I told you so" kind of thing, where they thought this king shit was over with because we went to jail, and they kind of said, we got a chance, and we messed it up, and that was that. But in reality, we were perfectly fine with being arrested. We're perfectly fine with dying. We're perfectly fine with struggling. We're perfectly fine with all these things because we had been doing them our whole lives. So what they thought was the end of the world was just a minor setback. And this is exactly what Memoirs was about. That's exactly what we were trying to explain, and it comes with it. It's just part of it, and we accepted that a long time ago. So I had to explain to my friend, they're celebrating in here too. They got king tattooed on their throats. They got the words to the songs carved in their cells, and we don't feel like we failed at all. We told you this was coming. This is what comes with it. But that's in the past, so this is the first one. This is the beginning. This is where you're going to peel back the surface and find out exactly what's underneath.